Hey guys, I hope you're right. Today we're talking about a new technology that's about to come, the new and improved Unreal Engine 5, and what's next for the future of 3D and gaming. So be ready. Now, if you're not onto the game and 3D industry and stuff, let me tell you, this is a big deal. There's some things we have to point out. The first thing is yes, this demo is running on a PlayStation 5. Believe it or not. And the billions of triangles of this demo are unbelievably true. For example, on this particular scene we can see there's a great amount of detail on each of these rocks. But why is that? How can we achieve that? Well, almost a year before, at the very beginning, Quixel and Epic made a deal. As you can see in this demo, most of the assets are not just simple, they are scans. They are mega scans, as they call it. This allows them to take a very detailed 8K textures directly from the real world. Well, that's amazing. But what about the compression? Because this scan must be 100 gigs each, right? This model in particular is just about 300 megabytes. We have to get all the textures for this, but we just need these characteristics. Now, let's look how this technology works. There's some interesting things, and one of them is the ability to take the models from the real world, meaning that the model responds to the history, to the erosion, rain, winter, spring, summer, autumn, something that's so hard to get when you make the 3D model from scratch. Now it's possible. As you can see, the scan let a model a great amount of detail, and as we approach or walk away, the scene gives you more or less detail from the scan. And that's the principle of this technology. The more detail, the more realistic it will look. This is a 3D scan. Look at the loads in this model. I mean, it's just amazing. And it depends on the frame you're watching. Then they just place the model and the results are just perfect. When you're watching this, you're amazed. And as we walk away, the transition from the loads is supreme. And this is just one megascan. When I place onto the real world, I get a very stunning result. And the composition I get depends entirely on the artists and level designers. And when you add nature and atmosphere, you can feel the new world in your hands. You want to roam this place. Well, I have to say, looks pretty good, right? Until I feel the fear and the fallout invading my body.
That's what it's all about. Art that just works.
It's not, I'm not kidding.
Well, the solution is kinda simple. Instead of the game version, they use the cinematic versions with virtual texturing at 8K. That means they don't use every version of the texture, as we'll see later on the video. The second thing is the Evolve technology. You may asking, but how they manage to render so many polygons? The answer, they call it Nanite. Nanite is a virtualized micropolygon geometry that frees artists to create as much geometric detail as the eye can see. Let you to have film quality source art comprising hundreds of millions or billions of polygons and can be imported directly into Unreal Engine. From ZBrush, sculpts, to photogrammetry, to CAD data, and it just works, they said. Nanite renders billions of triangles per frame, achieves detail down to the pixel, and gives them shadow. Let you to have high poly assets of triangles, with no needs of baking of normal maps, no photoreal LODs, lower resolution versions. But what's a normal map? Normal maps are a type of bumps that adds to the texture and allow you to add detail to the model like bumps, groups and scratches to a model who receives lights and is represented by real geometry. And the second new technology is Lumen. Lumen is their new GI system, which is completely dynamic with the environment and also includes multi-bounce GI. So we don't need light maps anymore. But what's a light map? A light map is a texture that stores pre-rendered lighting, because dynamic real-time lighting typically doesn't perform that well and doesn't look good either. This allows the surface to receive bounce lightning, soft shadowing and color bleeding for a very realistic looking result. So dynamic GI, it speeds up iteration for the impact on gameplay, as they say. So what does it mean? Well, in short words, a lot of save time. And without normal maps, in light maps or LODs, even more save time. But that's not it. They introduced Niagara system, in which particle systems allow them to communicate each other and understand their environment, and how they would do that, we don't know yet. It seems though that we're having these loading screens, but I don't mind that. I think these transitions give you an interesting view of the scale and pretty good sensation of coming out to a much bigger spaces. They talk about improved audio too, as well as a new functionality for fluid system, but I think they have to work on this feature because it didn't look as real as the rest of the demo. And the chaos physics system, which gives rigid bodies the physics to affect the environment like you see on that falling rocks. And finally, they presented the adaptive animation system, which added a predictive foot placement and motion wrapping, which dynamically eye key and body position to look more natural. Thanks for this, I guess. Also added ability to trigger seamless contextual animation events, which is nice. So with Nanite, they said you have limitless geometry, and with Lumen, fully dynamic lighting and global illumination on a PS5. So we'll see what Xbox and PC can do with this. So they announced too that Unreal Engine royalties waived on first $1 million in-game revenue. So that's very good. Now let's look at the final scene, where we can see the two systems working together. First, the Lumen system, invading all the space, and then the Nanite. I mean, it's just perfect. Also look the Niagara system working with those rocks falling apart. Wow. It looks photorealistic. I want to see how the PlayStation 5 and Xbox can handle these things. It looks so detailed. Also, the character looks so good.
It's time to see what's next.
And one more thing, if they can do that with all the money from kids playing Fortnite, please kids, keep playing that game. I think 3D artists and game developers will have the best time of their lives thanks to this new technology, especially how complexity levels will be consistently lower and production value will rise. Will the game industry take a great leap in game history? We'll see. Thanks for liking and subscribing. There will be more to come soon. Thanks for watching, peace, see you soon.